Chapter 16 Income Tax Authorities. We will complete all the questions in Test Your Knowledge. First question, question 1. Rajesh regularly files his return of income electronically while he was trying to upload his return of income for assessment year 2018-19 on 31st August to the for the assessment year 2020-21 on 30th November, that is extended due date for filing the same. He found it extremely difficult to do the same due to network problems, and ultimately he became successful in making e-filing of his return on only at 1 am on 1st December 2020. The return contained a claim for carry forward of business loss of rupees 51 lakh. The circumstances was recorded in an email addressed to the competent income tax authority on 1st December 2020. Rajesh made a request to the CBDT for condonation of delay in filing the return of income. Discuss whether the CBDT has the power to condone delay in filing the return of income and permit carry forward of loss in the given circumstances. Would your answer change if the return contained a claim for carry forward of a business loss of 48 lakhs? इसमें वो है कि 50 लाख से ऊपर का अगर कैरी फॉरवर्ड है तो सीबीडीटी परमिशन देगी, अगर 10 लाख से 50 लाख के बीच में है तो पीसीसीआईटी और सीसीआईटी, और 10 लाख से कम है तो पीसीआईटी और सीआईटी के पास पावर है कि डिले को कंडोन कर सके. एंड इसमें मेन तो ये है कि भाई जेन्युइन हार्डशिप अवॉइड करने के लिए सीबीडीटी मतलब बोल देता है कि हाँ ठीक है, एक दिन का डिले है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और इस पे केस भी हुआ है कि वो वाला लोधी प्रॉपर्टी कंपनी लिमिटेड वर्सेस अंडर सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू. So the answer is section 119 subsection 2 clause B empowers the CBDT to authorize any income tax authority to admit an application or claim for any exemption, deduction, refund or any other relief under the act after the expiry of the period specified under the act to avoid genuine hardship in any case or class of cases. The claim for carry forward of loss in case of late filing of return is relatable to a claim arising under the category of any other relief available under the Act. Therefore, the CBDT has the power to condone delay in filing of such loss return due to genuine reasons. The facts of the case are similar to the case of Lodhi Property Company Limited versus Under Secretary ITA 2 Department of Revenue, where the Delhi High Court held that the board has the power to condone the delay in case of a return which was filed late and where a claim for carry forward of losses was made. The delay was only 1 day and the assessee had shown justifiable reasons for the delay of 1 day in filing the return of income. If the delay is not condoned, it would cause genuine hardship to the assessee. Therefore, the court held that the delay of 1 day in filing of the return had to be condoned. The CBDT Circular Number 9/2015 dated 9 June 2015 expressly clarifies that the following authorities to be approached for this purpose: for quantum of loss where the loss is up to 10 lakh rupees, the principal CIT or CIT; where the loss is above 10 lakhs and up to 50 lakhs, it's principal CCIT or CCIT; and where the loss is above 50 lakh rupees, it is CBDT. The authority to be approached for condoning the delay. Applying the rationale of the above court ruling, the clarification given in CBDT circular to the case on hand, the CBDT has the power to condone the delay for this above case. इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर ये है कि the delay in filing return of income by Mr. Rajesh and permit carry forward of business loss of rupees 51 lakh, since the delay of 1 hour was due to genuine justifiable reason, that is network problem while e-filing the return. Based on the circular mentioned above, report. If the claim for carry forward of business loss is 48 lakhs, then the principal chief commissioner of income tax or chief commissioner of income tax has the power to condone the delay. Question number 2. Examine the correctness of the statement. The jurisdiction of an assessing officer cannot be objected by the assessee. क्यों नहीं भाई, कर सकता है तो कोई दूसरे जुरिस्डिक्शन का अगर एसएससी आके करता है, बट ये कि फिर वो जो दूसरा एओ आता है उसको सबमिट उसी जुरिस्डिक्शन के एओ को करना पड़ता है जिसके अंडर में एसएससी फॉल कर रहा है. According to section 124 subsection 3, the assessee can raise a question as to the jurisdiction of an assessing officer within the prescribed time limit. But time limit के अंदर करना पड़ेगा अगर आपको अगर क्वेश्चन रेज भी करना है, ये नहीं कि हर कभी जाके कर रहे हो, इसकी भी टाइम लिमिट दी हुई है. टाइम लिमिट है वेयर अ रिटर्न हैज बीन फाइल्ड अंडर सेक्शन 139 subsection 1. Then within 1 month from the date of a service of notice under section 142 subsection 1 or 143 subsection 2 or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. मतलब अगर 139(1) में किया है तो 1 month अंडर सेक्शन 142(1) और 143(2 और बिफोर कंप्लीशन ऑफ द असेसमेंट, विच एवर इज़ अर्लियर. मतलब 1 मंथ ही होगा भाई असेसमेंट कंप्लीट करने में, थोड़ी 1 महीने से कम लगेगा. नोटिस ही भेजने में 1 महीना लगा देते हैं लोग. वेयर नो रिटर्न हैज़ बिन फाइल्ड, then within the expiry of time allowed by the notice under section 142 subsection 1 or section 148 for filing the return, or within the time allowed in show cause notice issued seeking as to why a best judgment assessment under section 144 should not be made, whichever is earlier. Where search is initiated under section 132 or books of accounts, other documents or any assets are requisitioned under section 132A within 1 month from the date on which he was served with the notice under section 153A subsection 1 or 153C subsection 2 or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. Where search is initiated under section 132. 3 केस होते हैं, या तो टाइम पे रिटर्न फाइल करी, या तो रिटर्न नहीं फाइल करी और नोटिस आया 142 का उस पर रिटर्न फाइल करी, या फिर सीधे सर्च हो गई भाई. So within 1 month from the date on which he was served notice under section 153A subsection 1 or 153C subsection 2 or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. Where the assessee calls in question the jurisdiction of an assessing officer and the assessing officer is not satisfied with such claim, he shall refer the matter for determination by the principal director general or director general or principal chief commissioner or chief commissioner or principal chief commissioner or commissioner before the assessment is made. Therefore, in view of the above provisions, the statement that the jurisdiction of an assessing officer cannot be objected by the assessee is not correct. Where the assessee calls in question the jurisdiction of an assessing officer and the assessing officer is not satisfied with such claim, he shall refer the matter for determination by the principal director general or director general or PCCIT, CCIT, PCIT, CIT before the assessment is made. Therefore, in view of the above provision, the statement जहाँ पे रिटर्न नहीं फाइल करी विद इन द एक्सपायरी ऑफ टाइम अलाउड अंडर 142 or within the show cause notice issued seeking as to why best judgment assessment under section 144 should not be made, whichever is earlier. इसमें भी 2 केसेस हैं, मतलब बेस्ट जजमेंट असेसमेंट हो गया या 142(1) का नोटिस आ गया. और अगर सर्च हो गया तो विद इन 1 month फ्रॉम द डेट ऑन विच द नोटिस इज सर्व्ड. 1 month ही है सब में, इसमें भी 1 month ही है. रिटर्न लेट फाइल करी तो इसमें भी 1 month ही है, रिटर्न नहीं फाइल करी तो. Question number 3. The Director General of Income Tax, after getting the information that Mr. Mogambo is in possession of unaccountable cash of rupees 50 lakhs, issued order by invoking powers vested in him as per section 131 subsection 1A for its seizure. Is the order for seizure of cash issued by DGIT correct? If not, does the DGIT have any other power to seize such cash? ऐसे कैश तो सीज नहीं कर सकते. बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स कर सकते हैं बट कैश और असेट्स नहीं ले सकते. द पावर अंडर सेक्शन 131 सबसेक्शन 1A डील विद द पावर ऑफ डिस्कवरी एंड प्रोडक्शन ऑफ एविडेंस. दे डू नॉट कन्फर द पावर ऑफ सीजर ऑफ कैश और एनी असेट. The Director General, for the purposes of making an inquiry or investigation relating to any income concealed or likely to be concealed by any person or class of persons within his jurisdiction shall be competent to exercise powers conferred under section 131 subsection 1, which confine to discovery and inspection, enforcing attendance, compelling the production of books of accounts and other documents, and issuing commissions. Thus, the power of seizure of unaccounted cash is not one of the powers conferred on the Director General under section 131 subsection 1a. However, under section 132 subsection 1, the Director General has the power to authorize any additional director or additional commissioner or joint director or joint commissioner, etc., to seize money found as a result of search. Clause 3 of section 132 subsection 1, if he has reason to believe that any person is in possession of any money which represents wholly or partly income which has not been disclosed. Clause C of section 132 subsection 1, therefore the proper course open to the Director General is to exercise the power under section 132(1) and authorize the officers concerned to enter the premises where the cash is kept by Mr. Mogambo and seize such unaccounted cash. देखो क्या कर सकता है कि द पावर, जो पावर है अंडर सेक्शन 131(1)(a) में, वो पावर दी गई है डिस्कवरी और प्रोडक्शन ऑफ एविडेंस. आप एविडेंस ले सकते हो, बट ये पावर नहीं है कि आप कैश या फिर कोई एसेट को सीज कर लो. तो डायरेक्टर जनरल जब इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने जाएगा जहाँ उसको लगता है कि कोई इनकम कंसील हुई है और लाइकली टू बी कंसील्ड, किसी इंसान ने या फिर किसी ग्रुप ऑफ पर्सन्स ने या किसी क्लास ऑफ पर्सन ने विद इन उसके जुरिस्डिक्शन में, शैल बी कॉम्पिटेंट टू एक्सरसाइज पावर्स अंडर सेक्शन 131 सबसेक्शन 1. 131 जो बोलता है कि भाई डिस्कवरी, इंस्पेक्शन, एनफोर्सिंग अटेंडेंस, कंपेलिंग प्रोडक्शन ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स कर लो, और कोई दूसरे डॉक्यूमेंट मंगाने हो वो मंगा लो, या कमीशन इशू कर दो, नोटिस दे दो. Thus the power of seizure of unaccountable cash is not one of the powers. 131(1)(a) में कोई पावर नहीं दिया गया है. जो क्वेश्चन में सेक्शन लिखा हुआ था कि 131(1)(a) में कैश सीजर का पावर है कि डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ इनकम टैक्स के पास, तो वो नहीं है. बट हाउएवर जो सेक्शन है 132 सबसेक्शन 1, उसमें डायरेक्टर जनरल के पास पावर है कि वो ऑथराइज करे किसी एडिशनल डायरेक्टर को या एडिशनल कमिश्नर को या जॉइंट डायरेक्टर को या जॉइंट कमिश्नर को, 4 लोगों को कर सकता है, एडिशनल डायरेक्टर, एडिशनल कमिश्नर, जॉइंट डायरेक्टर, जॉइंट कमिश्नर, टू सीज मनी फाउंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ सर्च, कि भाई जाके सर्च करो और वहाँ पे पैसा मिलता है तो उसको सीज करो. ये कौन से क्लॉज में लिखा हुआ है? ये लिखा है क्लॉज 3 में, सेक्शन 132 सबसेक्शन 1 में लिखा है ये. If he has reason to believe that any person is in possession of any money which represent wholly or partly income which has not been disclosed, ऐसा लगता है कि भाई ये जो पैसा वहाँ मिलेगा आपको वो अनडिस्क्लोज्ड इनकम है, या तो पूरा या उसका कुछ पार्ट. Therefore the proper course open to Director General is exercise his power under section 132 subsection 1. खुद नहीं जा सकता बट ऑथराइज कर सकता है किसी ऑफिसर को कि भाई तू जा, एंटर द प्रेमाइस जहाँ पे कैश रखा हुआ है और उस अनअकाउंटेड कैश को सीज कर. अकाउंटेड कैश को सीज नहीं कर सकता, अनअकाउंटेड कैश लिखा हुआ है, ठीक है. मतलब लूपहोल्स हैं, मतलब लूपहोल्स नहीं है, मतलब ये पावर को वो करने का तरीका है भाई कि मतलब डायरेक्ट नीचे वाला भी नहीं जा सकता जब तक डीजी का ऑर्डर नहीं आएगा, और डीजी खुद भी नहीं जा सकता, डीजी को ऑर्डर देना पड़ेगा कि भाई तू जा. पावर टू ऑथराइज एनी एडिशनल डायरेक्टर, डीजी टू ऑथराइज एडिशनल डायरेक्टर, एडिशनल कमिश्नर, जॉइंट डायरेक्टर और जॉइंट कमिश्नर, इन चारों को ही कर सकता है. और उसके बाद रीज़न टू बिलीव होना चाहिए, ये नहीं कि बिना मतलब में होली और पार्टली इनकम विच हैज़ नॉट बीन डिस्क्लोज्ड. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. The premises of Ganesh were subject to search under Section 132 of the Act. The search was authorized and the warrant was signed by Joint Commissioner of Income Tax having jurisdiction over the assessee. ठीक है. Consequent to information in his possession, the assessee challenged the validity of search on the ground that Section 132 subsection 1 does not empower Joint Commissioner to authorize a search under the Act. Decide the correctness of the contention raised by the assessee. नहीं कर सकता है, क्यों नहीं कर सकता है? Under Section 132 subsection 1, the income tax authority listed therein are empowered to authorize other income tax authorities to conduct search and seizure operations. The authorities empowered to issue authorization include additional director, additional commissioner, joint director, joint commissioner as are empowered by the CBDT to do so. However, a joint commissioner can issue a warrant of authorization only if he has been specifically empowered to do so by CBDT. अगर ऊपर से ऑर्डर आया तो ही करेगा. Therefore, only if the joint commissioner has not been specifically empowered by CBDT to do so, the contention of assessee would hold good. If the Joint Commissioner has been duly empowered by the CBDT, then the contention raised by the assessee would not be valid. जॉइंट कमिश्नर खुद नहीं आ सकता. जॉइंट कमिश्नर के पास अगर CBDT से वो आता है, नोटिस आता है कि भाई जाओ जाके सर्च करो, तो ही आ सकता है जॉइंट कमिश्नर. अदरवाइज जॉइंट कमिश्नर भी नहीं कर सकता. वही लिखा था ना ऊपर वाले क्वेश्चन में भी, वही लिखा था 132(1) में. Warrant of authorization only, that he has been specifically empowered to do so by CBDT. Therefore, only if Joint Commissioner has not been specifically empowered by CBDT to do so, the contention of the assessee would hold good. मतलब दो तरीके से लिख सकते हो इसको कि जॉइंट कमिश्नर एम्पावर्ड नहीं था unless he has been specifically empowered by CBDT, then the contention of assessee would be correct, that he is not valid to search on the ground. But if the joint commissioner has been fully empowered by the CBDT, then the contention raised by assessee would not be valid. इस लाइन को लिख लेते हैं. But if the joint commissioner has been duly empowered by the CBDT, then the contention raised by the assessee would not be valid. CBDT का नोटिस होना चाहिए भाई. Question number 5. Examine whether the information regarding possession of unexplained assets and income received from CBI. Income received from CBI, a government agency, can constitute information for action under Section 132. क्या क्वेश्चन है? Whether the information regarding possession of unexplained income. अच्छा, इंफॉर्मेशन CBI से मिली तो उसको इन्फॉर्मेशन मान के 132 में सर्च कर सकते हैं क्या? कर सकते. एज पर सेक्शन 132 सबसेक्शन 1 क्लॉज C, authorization for search and seizure can take place if the authority, in consequence of information in his possession, has reason to believe that any person is in possession. Consequence of information in his possession has reason to believe that any person is in possession of money, bullion, jewelry, or other valuable article or thing, and these assets represent either wholly or partly income or property which has not been or would not be disclosed by such person for the purpose of this act. In the absence of such information, a search cannot be validly authorized. In the absence of a search cannot be validly authorized. बिना इन्फॉर्मेशन के तो जा ही नहीं सकते, और इन्फॉर्मेशन भी वैलिड होनी चाहिए. द अपेक्स कोर्ट इन यूओआई वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस अजीत जैन has held that mere intention by the CBDT that the money was found in the possession of the SSE, while according to the CBI was undisclosed without something more, does not constitute information within the meaning of Section 132 on the basis of which a search warrant could be issued. Consequently, the Supreme Court held that the search conducted on this basis and the assessment made pursuant to such search was not valid. इसने बोल दिया था ना कि वो जमा करने के लिए पैसे रखे हुए हैं और एंट्री करी हुई है कैश की. इसके घर पे मिल गया था कुछ 51 लाख रुपीस कुछ था शायद. बच गया फिर. यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस अजीत जैन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. कैश ऑफ ₹25 lakhs was seized on 12 September 2020 in search conducted as per Section 132 of the Act. The assessee moved an application on 27th October 2020 to release such cash after explaining the sources thereof, which was turned down by the department. The assessee seeks your opinion on the following issues. Can the department withhold the explained money? Nahi. If yes, then to what extent and up to what period? कर सकता है, बट उसके लिए अप्रूवल लेना पड़ेगा ऊपर से, और जस्ट फॉर 30 days मोर. द प्रोविजो टू सेक्शन 132B subsection 1 clause 1 provide that where the person concerned makes an application to the assessing officer within 30 days from the end of the month in which the asset was seized, within 30 days from the end of the month in which the asset was seized, asset seized हुआ उसके मंथ एंड से 30 दिन के अंदर आपको एओ को एप्लीकेशन देना है फॉर रिलीज ऑफ द एसेट, एंड द नेचर एंड सोर्स ऑफ एक्विजिशन ऑफ द एसेट इज एक्सप्लेन्ड टू द सेटिस्फैक्शन ऑफ द एओ. देन द एओ मे विद द प्रायर अप्रूवल ऑफ द पीसीसीआईटी और सीसीआईटी और पीसीआईटी और सीआईटी, the asset after recovering the existing liability under the Income Tax Act. आफ्टर रिकवरिंग द एग्जिस्टिंग लाइबिलिटी, जो एग्जिस्टिंग लाइबिलिटी है वो रिकवर करके बचा हुआ पैसा वापस दे देंगे. आउट ऑफ सच असेट एग्जिस्टिंग लाइबिलिटी हाउएवर डज नॉट इंक्लूड एडवांस टैक्स पेएबल. एग्जिस्टिंग लाइबिलिटी जो होती है ना वो एडवांस टैक्स को इंक्लूड नहीं करती. Such asset or portion thereof has to be released within 120 day from the date. 120 दिन के अंदर रिलीज हो जाना चाहिए. On which the last of the authorizations of search under section 132 was executed. मतलब सब होने के 120 दिन के अंदर रिलीज हो जाना चाहिए. नहीं, जिस दिन सर्च का ऑर्डर निकला था उसके 120 दिन के अंदर पूरा काम हो जाना चाहिए कि सीज कर लो, सामान ले आओ, बेच के पैसा ले लो, जितना इनकम टैक्स का ड्यू था वो ले लो, उसके बाद बचा हुआ वापस कर दो. 120 दिन के अंदर खत्म होना चाहिए. इन दिस केस सिंस द एप्लीकेशन वाज मेड टू द असेसिंग ऑफिसर विद इन द 30 days पीरियड, अमाउंट ऑफ existing liability may be recovered out of the asset and the balance may be released within 120 days from the date on which the last of the authorizations for search under section 132 was executed. Note: it may be noted that one of the conditions mentioned above for release of an asset is that the nature and source of acquisition of asset should be explained to the satisfaction of the assessing officer. Nature and source to be explained to the satisfaction of the assessing officer. However, in this case, it has been given that assessee's application for release of asset explaining the sources thereof was turned down by the department. If the application turned down by the department due to the reason that it was not satisfied with the explanation given by the assessee as to the nature and source of acquisition of the asset, then the asset, in this case that is cash, cannot be released and the condition mentioned above is not satisfied. हाँ, तो बस ये लोग यही करते हैं, बस जो आपने बताया है मानेंगे ही नहीं. आपका पैसा छोड़ेंगे ही नहीं. Question number 7. The business premises of Ram Bharose Ram Bharose Limited and the residence of two of its directors at Delhi were searched under section 132 by the DDI Delhi. The search was concluded on 9th of August 2020 and following were also seized beside the other papers and records. सर्च हुआ इसके घर पे अंडर सेक्शन 132 और पेपर्स और रिकॉर्ड्स के अलावा ये भी सीज किया. क्या? पेपर्स फाउंड इन द ड्रॉर ऑफ एन अकाउंटेंट रिलेटिंग टू श्री कृष्णा लिमिटेड Mumbai, indicating details of various business transactions. However, Ram Bharose Limited is not having any direct or indirect connection of any nature with these transactions, and Shri Krishna Limited, Mumbai, and its directors jewelry worth rupees 5 lakhs from the bedroom of one of the director, which was claimed by him to be of his married daughter. भाई नहीं, तुम्हारे घर पे मिली तुम्हारी ही है. दूसरे के पेपर मिले वो भी तुम्हारे ही हैं. Papers recording certain transactions of income and expenses having direct nexus with the business of the company for a period from 16th April 2016 to date of search. It was admitted by the director that the transactions recorded in such paper have not been incorporated in the books. हाँ तो भाई ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. बोले अरे सर ये लिखना भूल गए थे. हाँ तो साले को भूल गए थे, इतना पुराना. अब कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. You are required to answer on the basis of aforesaid and the provisions of Act following questions. What action the DDI shall be taking in respect of the seized paper relating to Shri Krishna Limited? Second question, contention raised by director as to jewelry found in his bedroom will be acceptable or not? What presumption shall be drawn in respect of the papers which indicate transactions not recorded in the books? Can the company move an application for settlement of a case as per chapter 19A of the Act? Can the company move an application for settlement? Application file कर सकते हैं क्या? First वाला, first answer is the authorized officer being DDI Delhi is not having any jurisdiction over Shri Krishna Limited. श्री कृष्णा लिमिटेड को नहीं पकड़ सकते जाके, क्योंकि उसका जुरिस्डिक्शन नहीं है. एक तो पहली बात तो ये दिल्ली में है और वो मुंबई में है श्री कृष्णा लिमिटेड. And therefore, as per section 132(9)(a), the paper seized relating to this company shall be handed over by him to the assessing officer having jurisdiction over Shri Krishna Limited. ये नहीं जाएगा, उसको देना पड़ेगा उधर वाले assessing officer को. Within a period of 60 days from the date on which the last of the authorization for search was executed for taking further necessary action. यार ये वाली लाइन ना बहुत यूज हो रही है. फॉर लास्ट ऑफ द ऑथराइजेशन फॉर सर्च अंडर सेक्शन 132 was executed. For last of the authorization for search was executed for taking further necessary actions thereon. इसको कलर कर लेते हैं. और उसमें लिखी हुई है such asset or portion thereof has to be released within 120 days from the date on which the last of the authorization for search under section 132 was executed. फिर नेक्स्ट पैरा में भी लिखा हुआ था ये वाले क्वेश्चन में यहाँ पे within 120 days from the date on which the last of the authorization for search under section 132 was executed. फिर अभी जो अपन आंसर पढ़ रहे हैं ये वाला यहाँ पे भी लिखा हुआ है फर्स्ट पॉइंट की लास्ट लाइन में within a period of 60 days from the date on which the last of the authorization for search was executed for taking further necessary actions thereon. Last of the authorization for search, आखिरी ऑथराइजेशन जब मिला हो सर्च का उससे 60 दिन. सेकेंड पॉइंट, कंटेंशन की भाई बेटी की ज्वेलरी हमारी नहीं है. द कंटेंशन रेज्ड बाय द डायरेक्टर विल नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेबल. इट विल नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेबल ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते क्योंकि तुम्हारे घर में मिला तुम्हारी है. बेटी होती तो बेटी के घर पे होती. रेज्ड बाय द डायरेक्टर, कंटेंशन रेज्ड बाय द डायरेक्टर विल नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेबल बिकॉज As per the provisions of subsection 4A, clause 1 of section 132, where any books of accounts, other documents, money, bullion, jewelry, or other valuables are found in the possession or control of any possession in the course of search, then in respect thereof it may be presumed that the same belonged to that person only. ये कौन से सेक्शन में लिखा हुआ है? 132 सबसेक्शन 4A क्लॉज 1. 132 सबसेक्शन 4A क्लॉज 1 कि आपके घर पे जो भी मिलेगा वो आपका ही है, किसी और का नहीं है. C question was paper indicating transactions not recorded in the books. Answer to C is as per section 132 clause 4A subsection 4A. The presumption in respect of the papers indicating transactions not recorded in the books but having direct nexus with the business of the account are that the same belonging to the company. Contents of such paper are true and the handwriting in which the same are written are of the persons whose premises have been searched. यही माना जाएगा कि किसी और के बिजनेस से रिलेटेड नहीं है, आपके ही बिजनेस से रिलेटेड है. जो लिखा है ये आपकी राइटिंग है, जो लिखा है वो सही लिखा है. जिसके प्रीमाइसेस पे ढूंढा उसी का है, भले ही बुक्स में रिकॉर्ड नहीं किए हो. कंटेंट्स ऑफ सच पेपर आर ट्रू एंड द हैंडराइटिंग इन विच द सेम आर रिटन इज or are of the persons whose premises has been searched. D point, settlement से related. Can the company move an application for settlement of case as per section 19A of the Act? As per clause 3A in the explanation to section 245A, the assessee can approach the settlement commission. Settlement commission के पास जा सकता है at any time after the date of issue of notice under section 153A or under section 153C initiating the assessment proceedings. Therefore, an application can be made to the settlement commission where search has been initiated under section 132 followed by the assessment under section 153A or 153C. आपके घर पे सर्च हुई, आप पहुंच जाओ इनके पास, सेटलमेंट कमीशन के पास. The provision to section 245C subsection 1 specifies the monetary limit for making application for settlement of cases. In respect of such cases, accordingly, the additional amount of income tax payable on the income disclosed in the application must exceed rupees 50 lakh so that the application for settlement of the case is eligible for admission. इनकम 50 लाख की नहीं, जो इनकम टैक्स लगेगा आपकी इनकम पे वो 50 लाख से ज़्यादा है तो ही आप सेटलमेंट कमीशन के पास जा सकते हो, अदरवाइज हर किसी को जाने के लिए नहीं मिलेगा भैया. जो टैक्स निकलेगा अगर वो 50 लाख से ज़्यादा का है तो सेटलमेंट कमीशन बोलेगा कि आओ भाई आ जाओ 50 लाख तो दोगे ना तुम आ जाओ. जो इससे कम देगा उसको भगा देगा, बोला हट तो उधर ही है, तेरे ऊपर होगा ही ना सर, वो कर लेंगे, हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे, हमारा दिमाग मत का, छोटे मोटे काम नहीं करते. As per clause 3A in the explanation to section 245A, the assessee can approach the settlement commission at any time after the issue of notice under section 153A or section 153C initiating the assessment proceedings. Therefore, an application can be made to the settlement commission where search has been initiated under section 132 followed by assessment under section 153A or 153C. बढ़िया. मॉनिटरी लिमिट इफ एक्सीड्स 50 लाख, टैक्स एक्सीड्स 50 लाख. मतलब सोचो 50 लाख जिसका टैक्स है, अगर मोटा मोटा अगर अपन 30% के हिसाब से भी निकालें तो 166 lakhs, बेसिकली 1,66,00,000 की इनकम. क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. इन द कोर्स ऑफ सर्च ऑन 25 मार्च 2021, अभी तो आया भी नहीं है, assets were seized. Examine the procedure laid down to deal with such seized assets under the Act. Section 132B. Section 132B of the Income Tax Act 1961 deals with the application of assets seized under section 132. Such assets will be first applied towards the existing liability under the Income Tax Act 1961, etc. Existing liability, however, does not include advance tax payable. Existing liability does not include advance tax payable. Further, the amount of liability determined on completion of such assessment, including any penalty levied or interest payable in connection with such assessment, and in respect of which the assessee is in default or deemed to be in default, may be recovered out of such assets, where the nature and source of acquisition of such seized assets is explained. To the satisfaction of the assessing officer, the amount of any existing liability, mentioned above may be recovered out of such asset, and the remaining portion, if any, of the assets may be released with the prior approval of PCCIT, CCIT, PCIT, CCIT, CIT, as the case may be. Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Commissioner of Income Tax, as the case may be. The release must be made within 120 days from the date on which the last of the authorization for the search under Section 132 or the requisition under Section 132A was executed. The assets would be released to the person from whose custody they were seized. जिसके पास से सीज करी थी उसी को वापस देंगे, किसी और को नहीं देंगे. When the asset consists of solely of money or partly of money or partly of other assets, the assessing officer may apply such money in the discharge of the liabilities referred to above, and the assessee shall be discharged of such liability to the extent of the money so applied. However, the assets other than money may also be applied for discharge of such liabilities if the complete recovery could not be made from the money seized or the money seized was not sufficient. जो सामान सीज किया उसको बेच के पैसा निकाल लेंगे. चलो भैया, इसके क्वेश्चंस तो हो गए, है ना, अच्छे क्वेश्चंस थे. बाकी ऊपर केस लॉस हैं, केस लॉस पढ़ लेना. यहीं पे क्वेश्चंस में ही अपन ने 2-3 केस लॉस पढ़ लिए. कौन कौन से केस लॉस थे? एक तो था यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस अजीत जैन, और एक था अपना, एक और क्या था वो, लोधी प्रॉपर्टी कंपनी लिमिटेड वर्सेस अंडर सेक्रेटरी रेवेन्यू, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू. और एक और केस था, दो ही थे शायद, दो ही थे. यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया वर्सेस अजीत जैन और ये